Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. As you can see, we are in a beautiful bay here in the Ionian, and we wanted to take this opportunity to do a little video all about the mistakes and mishaps that we've had and how we've solved them as a liveaboard family on the Greek islands. Leave us a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.
So whether you're planning to come to Greece and you want to know how to anchor, particularly in the Ionian, we're going to show you some of our top tips of things to do and not to do.
Speaking of crossing anchors, these guys are in a tangle.
Also, the problems and issues we've had with our windlass and why we've changed it and how you install one. Also the advantages of going stern to, free anchoring, and some of the techniques we use.
The hope in this episode is that for anyone out there who is looking to become a liveaboard or is perhaps a liveaboard themselves, we would definitely recommend to have certain things within your ground tackle and on board to ensure that you can have the safest experience.
So we've had this episode in mind now for a few months, haven't we? And it all kind of kicked off a few months ago where we had probably our worst anchoring incident.
Not a situation you ever want to be in. Definitely our closest call.
And this was back in Nidri, Tranquil Bay. We were stern to the rocks. We had 3 anchors out, 4 lines to shore, and that still wasn't good enough.
This is absolutely petrifying, but we have dragged all 3 anchors. It's now starting to power down the brain, but we've got to move from off the rocks out into the bay because we were literally, you could have stepped out onto the rocks off the back of the boat about 5 minutes ago. So we're just preparing everything to just move as fast as possible.
I've said this before, never get too comfortable. And that is exactly what I was. I was in the bow cabin with Noah watching Netflix. It was about 9 o'clock at night. And then we just heard this nasty squall come through.
So at the minute, Ross is getting the lines in and the boys have got their life jackets on, but I'm trying not to say too much because I don't want them to panic and obviously worry. So sorry guys, I haven't got the lights on because I'm trying to keep my night vision, but basically we don't want any lines to get caught in the prop, or we are just for a better word. We've dragged our main anchor as well, so
our main Rockner 25 anchor had also slipped.
we're just basically just going to try and get out of here and land the anchor in the bay somewhere. For once, Ross was the one that wasn't coping so well with the situation mentally, and I had to step up and be the calm one because I could see that what he needed the most in that moment was a clear mind. I didn't know exactly what was going on, but it was quite obvious that there was just too much for him to handle in one go. The anchor's up and we're free now, guys, and the weather just suddenly dropped, thank God, because every single, 3 anchors, guys, 3 anchors dragged, which is just unheard of for us, but it was just the direction of the wind. We were just taking it side on the whole time, and it just pulled everything up. So we're just moving. Oh my gosh, thank you, Mother Nature, thank you so much. You can see the stars are even out, which means the rain's passed as well. Oh man, that was one of those, guys, one of those, and every sailor out there will know what I mean when I say one of those.
Laura's worried about me, but second to that, she did kind of jump in the driver's seat and got the life jackets out, put them on the boys. They were a little bit confused because they were sort of thinking about going to bed.
Yeah.
And you did all of that. I got the boat off the rocks and systematically got all the lines out. And in a nutshell, we got ourselves safe.
Yeah, we motored out, didn't we, and just re-dropped anchor. Well, what can I say? Anchoring in the dark, not everyone's cup of tea, not exactly what a person really wants to be doing right now, but I don't know if you can see that, but the chain is really tight, so looks like we're dug in quite well now.
That's in the top 5 worst situations we've been in.
100%.
The first time we grounded the boat.
All 3 anchors. It's nuts.
I think we need some new anchors.
I reckon. Just
biggest one.
Stay on land.
The biggest anchor that fits on your bow.
10 past 10. 5. Didn't stress at all. You're amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
We realised that even though a 25 kilogram anchor is supposed to be sufficient for our boat, and that our secondary anchors were sufficient for our boat, actually it's entirely dependent on the environment that you are sailing in and situational. And we wanted to be covered for all eventualities. Like when something happens to us, we want to make sure that is never going to happen again.
Yeah. So the next morning we sat on deck, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I started looking at all of our safety stuff, and it's a bit like when you start painting the stairwell in your house. You sort of start going around, and before you know it, you're painting the whole house. Well, that is what we've done this year with safety, and it started with the Rockner anchor. I was disappointed that our 25 kilo anchor had let us down. Having said that, like Laura said, it was situational. It was a big squall that just came in and then went. And what happens is when you have your anchor out straight and you're stern to the rocks and you get broadsided 90 degrees, the pressure on your anchor is actually maybe 3-4 times more than if you're on swinging. So this is where sometimes you do need a bigger anchor. And I think sometimes anchor manufacturers don't think of this. They're doing their tests on swinging, and in Greece, you do have to go stern to the rock sometimes.
And you were quite low, weren't you? I don't know why, but it really knocked us, because obviously we're doing this nearly 5 years now, and you'd think by now we have oodles of confidence, but it only takes one bad situation to knock you back. And I think it really did for you. But then the irony is, literally the very next day, we woke up to an email from Rockner, who really wanted to partner with us. And so, we upgraded.
And that email couldn't have come at a better time. We sat down and talked with their team, and basically they've brought out a new Rockner Mark II, which means that they've done some significant upgrades to the Rockner.
That literally rolls like a wheel. It
Yeah.
doesn't catch or stop. It cannot.
Would it keep going over?
Yeah, it cannot balance upside down.
That's amazing, isn't it? Woohoo!
And they actually say you can drop down a size. But I said to them, I want to go up a size anyway. So in theory, we've gone up 2 sizes. We have put it to the test.
Yeah, many
And
times.
half the time we can't even dig it right in with full revs because it has got such a good surface area, and we've only buried it fully once. It really is probably oversized for most situations that you have in the summer, but we are looking at like full-time
Yeah, exactly.
liveaboard
Year-round.
winter life. We could well be in over 50-60 knots this winter. That for us is important, that our anchor can hold and withstand anything that's thrown at it.
Basically, we are fully committed to year-round liveaboard life.
We then decided to look at a new windlass, hence all the problems with the other one.
So Ross, being Ross, did what he usually does in any scenario. Got straight on the internet and started researching windlasses and what would be the best windlass and fit for our boats. And he eventually settled on one with SVB, who, if you don't know, get to know, they are literally the biggest supplier of boat fittings and parts in Europe, and they are fantastic. And actually, SVB has sponsored this video, so thank you so much to SVB for that.
They are the #1 go-to. A few of my friends in the marinas and stuff have been using them for years. What I love about them is they have such a vast amount of stuff, so your shopping basket you can just fill with anything to do with boats. And Greece can be very challenging for deliveries, and unless you get something from the EU, it can literally be a bit of a ball ache to get anything here. The fact SVB do everything to do with yachts, and they're based in Germany, means anything can get sent within a few days to Greece. It all goes through plain sailing, and we get our stuff, prompto. So
Super simple.
So we ended up fitting the Cayman windlass again. It fits our anchor locker perfectly, and with the 1000-watt motor, it is plenty powerful enough for our anchor and anchor chain. SVB has great easy-to-use search features, and you can even apply filters to narrow down your results. I decided it was well worth investing in the Lofrans chain counter, ideal if you've got limited crew or you're single-handed and you need to be at the helm and lower the anchor chain at the same time. For us, this now means Laura can run the lines to shore, and I have complete control of Holly Blue all in one place. To install the Cayman windlass, just simply remove it from the box. You'll notice there are 10 plates on the box if it's a new install. You will need to set the M10 studs nice and securely, and then simply bolt the windlass into position. If you decide to go for the chain counter or want to add this to your existing windlass, all you need to do is set a magnet into the gypsy wheel and fix the sensor underneath in the anchor locker. All wiring should be carried out by a professional. The windlass does come with a new control box. I would recommend swapping this over so everything is nice and new. Make sure you install the chain counter in a sensible place where you can access it whilst also steering, and follow the instructions to calibrate the parameters to ensure you have accurate chain counting. If you have a boat in Europe or the UK and there's something that you need, why not give SVB a try? Not only will you get exceptional service and great advice,
And if you enter the code HOLLYBLUE, all in capitals, you will get a free gift, which is always useful after a very hard day sailing and anchoring near lots and lots and lots of charter boats. The irony actually is that we are sat in a situation right now because the bay that we're in is full of charter boats.
Yeah.
It's extremely windy and people are literally coming in here left, right and centre to seek refuge from the winds that are out there at the moment. So literally we have our Rockner 33 kg and we also have our secondary anchor, which is a Fortress.
There's like 1, 2, 3 boats coming in as we're talking. And whilst you can look at the seafloor, look at your equipment, look at the weather, people are not predictable. And you don't know who they are really until it's too late. You have someone that gets close and you think, oh my goodness.
Talk about anchor crossings in the Ionian. This huge super yacht over here is about to cross our anchor. Knowingly. Oh. What are they doing? They're going to cross 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats' anchors and probably ours. So many people are not happy about this and they just do not give a damn. They're just going for it. Well, it's on camera, guys.
I think he's missed ours.
Okay, it sounds like he's missed ours, but everyone's stuck. No one can go anywhere because he's crossed their anchor with this massive chain.
I've never seen a professional, outfit like that cross 7 anchors. And
Yeah.
Just to go, I think we are very lucky. I think they've missed us.
We are lucky anyway.
But
Anyway.
there's some very unhappy people
Let's
over
face it, comment below what you think of this situation.
there. So I've got my smack going, my knife, got my plasma cutter, got the chain, not our chain.
You're not really gonna do that.
I'm just gonna check everyone's all right. Any excuse to get in the water,
Any excuse to try and be James Bond. Turn around, let's see your tank. Ooh.
Right, ready.
Yeah, as if you're gonna wear them as well.
I'll put them on underneath.
Just be careful because there's lots of boats moving around. Oh my gosh! It's a spearfishing trident. Wow,
That's awesome. I think I'll fit my gun.
that's wicked. He's back. Let's go find out what's going on.
I'm shocked.
Why are you shocked?
He's done with 2 anchors somehow missed every single anchor.
Seriously?
Chain is gone around, the chain is here and anchor, missed them all, and ours.
Sweet.
I don't even know how he did it.
Do you know what? I had a feeling that Smacker unit is actually really useful for checking your anchor, isn't it, in situations like this?
It's good. I ran out of there,
Of course.
I did my 3 minutes at 5 meters, and I was like,
Okay. Everybody's having a little panic attack over there. What's gonna happen?
did I tell you I talked to him?
No, what happened?
I told him where his ankle is, and he's actually like a skipper.
Why?
Sort of got that chain amongst all his anchors, like a couple of feet away from all of them without touching them.
And that's why he's on that boat. It's funny how you can make such easy assumptions on a situation. That skipper knew what was going on underneath the water the whole time, I think. Look at the captain up there. He is dude. Oh yeah. Clapping. Fuck you,
It's so funny.
That was good.
You have someone that gets close and you think, oh my goodness, and they're actually really professional,
Yeah.
probably better than me.
They know the limits.
And they nail it. Then you get other ones that look okay, and then suddenly their rudder is on your chain or whatnot. Speaking of crossing anchors, these guys are in a tangle. I think I will go and help them actually, because they don't know what they're doing. Obviously I couldn't film that, but we've sorted it. We've obviously seen this a lot and done this a lot, but one thing you should never do is get between two anchor chains and two anchors with people not knowing what they're doing. And there's a guy in the water just then who I had to just say stop, because you know, you're going to get yourself killed in a minute. So just simply get the anchor up as high as you can, get a length of rope wrapped around the chain that the anchor's on, tie it to the boat, and then lower the anchor down. The anchor comes off the chain, and then you can maneuver the boat forwards or backwards to then lift the anchor up and get it out the way, and then you just let the rope go. Sorry we couldn't show you what I just did. Laura's not here, she's out walking. Can you believe that? And there's no way I could film that at the same time. All is well, they're on their way. Life has gone back to normality. Now I can get back to editing this video. We always put out a second anchor. We have now upgraded our second anchor to a Fortress. They actually kindly gave us two anchors, a storm anchor and a normal size anchor for this boat. Currently we have the storm anchor out because we have got up to force 8 today. And what's really nice about that is even though our rock nut is absolutely fine, it's in sand, it's not going to budge. If someone pulls that out the ground, we've got the Fortress still holding us off the rocks. And it gives me time to go and sort it out. They can drop it back down, I can reset it. But when you only have one, you're into taking all the lines off and literally having to go and do all that again. These things usually happen when the wind's at its highest. So this afternoon around 2 o'clock, we're going to be getting 30 knots, probably on the broadside. You know, we've done everything we can to keep ourselves safe and secure.
I would like to mention the fact that somebody doesn't wear a wedding ring. And for anyone out there who doesn't know why, it's not because he wants to look single. Although I have had my issues with it. But I do understand as well that wearing rings is really dangerous on the boat. This one nearly lost a digit in the process of losing his wedding ring.
Well, I don't know about that, but we've always had windlass problems on this boat. The issue we had with it was you used to have to hit it with a hammer to get it to work. And eventually hitting it with a hammer didn't work. So I was into letting the chain out by hand, and it literally spun my wedding ring off, and I saw it spin and then roll off the deck into the sea. Ineos, if anyone sees it, let me know.
That's what he says anyway.
But yeah,
That's your story.
story. And it went into seagrass. I spent an hour looking for it, but just had to let it go.
I'll get one tattooed around his finger one day, you never know.
Whenever me and Laura have an argument, it's one of those things that come up and I'm defenseless. I can't, can't hide.
You don't even wear a wedding ring. No, only kidding.
Going back to the safety stuff, we sorted out our anchors. At the same time, we thought, why not change the chain as well? Where's Noah?
Here!
What's in there, Noah?
Oh, chain?
New chain. Ooh. Is it nice and silky smooth?
Yeah.
Oh, me feel it. That is slippery. That is silky, slippery smooth.
Soapy.
Because I've had a real problem, me being the anchor dropper and the anchor raiser, what happens is our old chain used to just pile up and just make a massive pile. I had to keep lying in the locker and flaking it, like no matter what the weather was, no matter how high the winds were, if it was sleeting it down with rain, I would have my head in it. And this is going to be so much safer because it would just fall to the side. When it comes to safety, you are only as solid as your ground tackle, and so that's why we've had such a major focus on that this year. But also we've made some other safety upgrades and done some necessary things, which Ross is going to tell you all about now. What have you done that cost us a bomb?
It did cost a bomb. Coming back from the bow, I had to look at our life raft. That was just out of date. We went and got that service, and you're sort of taking these things in and you're talking to the people there. And fire extinguishers in Greece, they should be done every year. Our life jackets should be done every 2 years. So it ended up costing us well over €1,000 just to get all that done.
Definitely something to bear in mind if you are thinking about getting a boat, because obviously these are little hidden costs that you don't know are out there, and it's exactly why sailors always say there's only one hole in your boat and it's in your wallet.
So let's move on to anchoring scenarios, yeah?
Okay.
Swing and anchor, in our opinion, is our favourite and the best. However, quite rarely in the Ionian can you actually do that safely. You'll find a lot of areas like Tranquil Bay, for example. You free anchor and everyone is within everyone's anchor radiuses. You're all like within 10 meters of each other, and it's not as safe as if you've got the whole beach to yourself and you can just swing around freely. In my opinion, quite often, a lot of the time, it's better to go stern to. Just be aware of what happens when you get broadsided. However, it does stop you all banging into each other, which is quite handy.
I'd also say it's at times a safer situation if you maybe don't have that good anchor, because if you're in the shelter of rocks where the wind is much lower, then, you know, in theory, that could be safer.
Look at us now. We actually have 28 knots right now, but because we have this big cliff behind us, it's just blowing straight over. I mean, out to sea, there are loads of white horses. It's rough as hell out there. The other thing is the shoreline's often quite steep in the Ionian, and it's better to put your anchor in and go back to the rocks so that your anchor's got to come up that steep hill, rather than if you were swinging and going the other way, your anchor is then going down a steep hill, which is really bad, and then eventually it's just going to be hanging off your bow.
Yeah,
So-
people don't think about that, do they, when they're anchoring?
No,
Actually, that's probably why so many people do go stern to rocks. It makes a lot of sense, really. And if you can see this bay right now, like literally everyone is just like wrapped around the bay stern to. And it also makes a really nice swimming pool for the kids. When it's calm, we'll take Ronnie over on the paddleboard and then he will literally swim back from shore, which is amazing. So the cats like it, we like it. We've got all the safety equipment out for it. And yeah, it's nice. It's a nice way to live aboard.
Me and Laura have been doing stern to now for 5 years. You would have seen in the past some of our fails. We had that time in Ceramos.
The thing about sailing life is if you're a person that likes consistency, which generally I am, you just kind of have to suck it up, really, because change happens all the time. Whether you're happy where you are or not, circumstances which affect your safety are obviously more important to deal with. So we are moving. I've stamped my feet a little bit, but
We were swinging anchor, then we went to stern to anchor, and then
because you wanted to go and I said, no, this is a bad idea. Okay,
Happy?
I forgive you now.
Where are you going?
There are some benefits me from nowhere. Hi.
Bye. Here comes trouble.
Well,
That was a quick swim. So, on camera then, how is it here?
it'll do.
Was I right?
I'll never admit that on camera. And I was right.
Well, where we went stern to was just so lovely and calm and clear, but it all changed, and this is Greek weather for you.
You'll never guess where we are. In the end, we dragged and ended up having to move back to where we were in the first place, right back where we started this morning. Oh my goodness, I'm so ready to leave the Meltemi now.
Having done this a lot now, we have kind of mastered our way of going stone
We
to.
have a system.
And it's got even better now with the new windlass because it's got a chain counter, and we now have a remote just where I'm sat right on it. Now I can adjust the chain up and down, even drop the anchor from the helm. Everything all in one place.
What we usually do is drop anchor somewhere safely. I or Ross will then go to shore and get a strop around a tree or a rock or whatever it is and set up what we're going to anchor to before we start going back, which is a big mistake a lot of people make. Get your lines ready at the boat, and then from there you can either stay on anchor and reverse back in, or you can reset your anchor where you want to be to then reverse back. And then at the same time, you usually set the anchor in, like reverse on it, get it really nicely dug in, let out a bit more chain using this wonderful Fandango device. And then when we're close, I can literally hop on the paddleboard, go straight to where the setup is and clip on straight away. So there's just no margin for error. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. And that works wonders in Stern2 situations. Okay guys, we really hope that today's video has been helpful and useful for anyone out there, and also that you can learn from our mistakes so you don't make your own.
We'd love to see you in our next usual episode coming up very soon.
See you in the next one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Blue is the sky, like the color of your eyes. Blue is your heart. It's been like that from the start. Say